The Galactic Summit. The Galactic Summit was the grandest event in the universe. Representatives from hundreds of powerful alien civilizations gathered in a massive space station that floated near the edge of a dying star. The station glittered with lights, and its halls echoed with the voices of beings from across the galaxies. In the main hall, the air buzzed with excitement. Towering alien generals in shining armor and elegant diplomats with glowing robes spoke of power, alliances, and wars. They boasted about their advanced fleets, ships that could destroy moons and conquer entire planets. Among them, a small group of humans stood quietly. They were the representatives of Earth, a planet known to the galaxy as weak and insignificant. They wore simple suits, their faces calm but their eyes sharp. Compared to the tall, multi-limbed aliens or the glowing, energy-based beings, the humans seemed tiny and out of place. As Earth's representatives entered the hall, whispers spread like wildfire. "Look at them," sneered a reptilian alien with golden scales. "So fragile. How did they even survive this long?" Another alien, a massive creature with 4 eyes and horns curling from its head, chuckled. "Earth's fleet is nothing but junk. I heard their ships can barely leave their own solar system." The humans heard the comments but said nothing. Their leader, a calm man named Ambassador Ryan Carter, walked to their assigned spot without flinching. He held his head high, ignoring the mocking laughter around him. At the center of the hall, a large holographic display lit up, showing images of fleets from different civilizations. A booming voice announced, "The Galactic Fleet Exhibition begins now. Each civilization will showcase its might." One by one, the alien fleets were displayed. Gigantic ships with glowing cannons and sleek designs appeared on the screen. Each fleet seemed more powerful than the last. The crowd cheered loudly for every display, and the boasting continued. Then, it was Earth's turn. The hologram shifted to show Earth's fleet. The humans had submitted the images proudly, but now, as the ships appeared, the room erupted into laughter. Earth's ships were smaller and less shiny than the others. Their designs were practical, not elegant. The largest ship in the fleet looked like a gray metal box compared to the alien vessels that gleamed like jewels. "Is this a joke?" An alien general shouted, wiping tears of laughter from his eyes. "Do humans think these toys can fight in space?" Ambassador Carter stepped forward, his expression calm. "This is Earth's fleet," he said. His voice was steady, carrying across the room. "It may not look like much, but it is a symbol of our determination." The crowd roared with laughter again. A towering alien with shimmering silver skin smirked. "Determination won't save you in a battle, human. A fleet like that is only good for running away." Carter smiled slightly. "Sometimes, appearances can be deceiving," he said. His words only brought more laughter. An alien diplomat, his glowing eyes narrowing, asked mockingly, "Why don't you tell us how you built such magnificent ships? Scrap metal and dreams, perhaps?" Carter didn't respond to the insult. Instead, he looked at the hologram of Earth's fleet. "We built it with ingenuity and survival in mind," he said. "Our history has taught us to make the most out of what we have. We may not have the resources you all do, but we know how to adapt." The hall grew quieter. Some of the aliens frowned, sensing a hint of confidence in Carter's voice. But before anyone could ask more, a loud voice interrupted. "Let's see if their fleet can fight." It was General Wagner, a giant alien with armor that shimmered like molten lava. His booming voice echoed through the hall. "Let's have a mock battle. Earth's fleet against one of ours. It will be a good laugh." The crowd cheered at the idea. A mock battle was a common way for civilizations to showcase their strength. It was a chance to humiliate weaker opponents without causing real harm. Wagner grinned, his sharp teeth glinting. "Let's see if these humans can even survive the first minute." Ambassador Carter looked at the other humans in his group. They exchanged glances and nodded. Carter turned back to the crowd. "We accept your challenge," he said. The room fell silent for a moment. And then the aliens burst into laughter again. They didn't expect the humans to agree so easily. Wagner's grin widened. "Good," he said. "Prepare to be destroyed." As the humans left the hall to ready their fleet, the aliens continued to mock them. But one alien, an old and wise diplomat with glowing green eyes, watched them leave with curiosity. He whispered to himself, "Why are they so calm? Do they know something we don't?" The scene ended with the laughter of the aliens echoing through the hall. But behind closed doors, the humans were preparing. They knew the truth. Earth's fleet was more than it appeared. And soon, the galaxy would find out why. The fleet's revelation. Deep within the cold void of space, Earth's fleet floated silently, its seemingly unimpressive ships reflecting the faint light of distant stars. The mock battle was scheduled to begin in a few hours, but the humans were anything but unprepared. In the command room of Earth's flagship, Resolute, Ambassador Ryan Carter stood with Admiral Elena Vega, the mastermind behind the fleet's design. Vega was a sharp-eyed woman with gray streaks in her dark hair, a symbol of years spent solving impossible problems. "They think we're weak," Carter said, glancing at the holographic display of the alien fleet. Their ships glowed with advanced energy shields and weapons systems that could obliterate planets. Vega smirked. "Good. Underestimation is the deadliest mistake an enemy can make." She gestured to the fleet outside the window. "These ships may not look like much, but they were built for one purpose: survival. Each one is a weapon of innovation." Carter raised an eyebrow. "They don't just look outdated. They are outdated, aren't they?" Vega chuckled. "Outdated to them. Revolutionary to us." She tapped a control panel, and the room dimmed as a new hologram appeared. It showed the internals of an Earth ship. While they poured resources into size and firepower, we focused on adaptability and resilience. Our ships are equipped with dynamic modular systems, meaning they can reconfigure themselves mid-battle. Carter leaned closer, intrigued. "Meaning?" "Meaning," Vega continued. "If one system fails, another can take over. If their weapons hit us, our armor absorbs the energy and feeds it back into our weapons. And the best part, they'll never see us coming." She pointed to another part of the hologram. "We've integrated stealth and decoy systems unlike anything they've ever encountered. It's not about being stronger, it's about being smarter." Carter nodded, impressed. "Let's hope it's enough." Flashback. Building the fleet. The scene shifted to a flashback, revealing the struggles Earth faced while building the fleet. Earth was a planet of limited resources, constantly overshadowed by larger galactic powers. The people worked tirelessly in underground shipyards, hidden from prying alien eyes. Dr. Kieran Solis, a brilliant but eccentric scientist, led the research team. Known for his wild ideas and relentless determination, Solis pushed the boundaries of what was possible. "We don't need to match their firepower," Solis had told his team. "We need to rewrite the rules of the game." His breakthroughs included energy shields that could adapt to different attack patterns and weapons that analyzed enemy weaknesses in real time. Every part of the fleet was designed with one goal in mind: to turn Earth's weaknesses into strengths. The flashback ended with Solis standing in front of the fleet, his eyes gleaming with pride. "When they see what we've built," he had said, "they won't laugh. They'll tremble." The mock battle begins. Back in the present, the Galactic Summit crowd gathered in a massive observation chamber to watch the mock battle. The alien General Wagner's fleet loomed on one side of the battlefield, a terrifying wall of shimmering metal and glowing weapons. Earth's fleet, by contrast, looked like a scattered collection of fragile relics. "Begin," Wagner's voice boomed, and the battle commenced. Wagner's ships fired first, beams of concentrated energy streaking across the void. The crowd cheered, expecting Earth's ships to explode instantly. But to their surprise, the beams hit the human ships and dissipated harmlessly, absorbed by their adaptive shields. "What?" Wagner snarled, slamming a fist on his command console. "Fire again." Full power. The alien fleet unleashed a storm of weapons fire, but Earth's ships moved with unexpected grace. They twisted and turned, their smaller size allowing them to evade most attacks. When a blast hit, the human ships seemed to shrug it off, their shields glowing faintly as they redirected the energy. The room grew quieter as the aliens watched in disbelief. "How are they doing this?" one diplomat murmured. "Earth strikes back." Then, Earth's fleet counterattacked. The humans had no massive cannons or flashy weapons, but their strikes were precise. Small drones launched from their ships, slipping through the gaps in Wagner's shields. The drones latched onto the alien ships and began hacking into their systems. Within moments, one of Wagner's largest ships went dark, its lights flickering out as it lost power. Another ship's weapons systems malfunctioned, turning on its allies. The humans had turned the alien fleet's own strength against them. Wagner's face turned red with fury. "What is happening?" In the observation chamber, the laughter was gone. The aliens watched in stunned silence as Earth's fleet systematically dismantled Wagner's forces. One by one, the alien ships were disabled, not destroyed. It was a calculated move. Humans were showing they could win without unnecessary violence. The hidden ace. As the tide of the battle turned, Carter watched from the command room of the Resolute. "Admiral, are we revealing everything?" Vega shook her head. "Not yet. Let them think this is all we've got." Carter smiled. "Understood." The part ended with a final shot of Wagner's flagship, surrounded by Earth's ships. A single transmission was sent to him from the Resolute. "Surrender now, or face the full force of humanity." The mock battle begins. The vast emptiness of space was the stage for the most unexpected mock battle in galactic history. The alien fleet, composed of towering warships that gleamed with deadly energy, waited in anticipation. The Resolute and the rest of Earth's fleet, much smaller but brimming with hidden technology, prepared for their challenge. A cold tension filled the air as the countdown to the battle began. Wagner, the towering alien general, stood at the heart of his flagship, his muscles bulging beneath his shimmering armor. His voice boomed across the communication channels. "Prepare to witness the power of the galaxy's finest. Earth's pathetic excuse for a fleet will be crushed under our might." Carter stood tall on the bridge of the Resolute, his hands clasped behind his back. "Just as we planned," he said quietly. "No need to rush. Let them make the first move." Admiral Elena Vega was at her station, her eyes scanning the incoming data. "We'll let them attack first. We need to see how their weapons behave." The countdown hit 0. The first strike. As soon as the battle began, Wagner's fleet fired without hesitation. Beams of concentrated plasma cut through space, racing toward Earth's fleet like the jaws of a predatory animal. The aliens were eager to make quick work of their small, defenseless opponent. The audience in the observation chamber watched eagerly, certain that Earth's ships wouldn't survive even the first wave of fire. But then, something strange happened. The first wave of plasma beams hit Earth's ships, and the energy simply dissipated, absorbed by an invisible force surrounding each vessel. "Impossible," Wagner snarled. "Their shields. How are they so strong?" The audience gasped, unsure of what they were witnessing. The alien ships fired again, this time with even more power. Earth's fleet swerved and weaved, dodging most of the incoming attacks, but the hits they did take were absorbed, as if their ships were made of an unknown material. On the Resolute, Vega smirked. "They thought we were weak. Let's show them the truth." Earth's counterstrike. As the alien fleet prepared for another round of fire, Earth's ships suddenly split into smaller, more agile formations. From the Resolute, a burst of light shot forward, a small but powerful laser that struck one of Wagner's ships. It was a pinpoint shot, cutting right through the alien ship's armor with ease. The alien vessel began to shake violently, its engines sputtering. A cheer went up from the human fleet. The alien ship's crew scrambled to repair it, but it was too late. The energy from Earth's laser had caused a chain reaction, disabling the ship without any loss of life. Wagner's eyes widened. No, this can't be. Earth's ships continued their assault, not with sheer force but with clever strategy. They fired electromagnetic pulses that disrupted the alien ship's electronics, causing their weapon systems to go haywire. Alien fighters, once controlled by their pilots, now floated aimlessly in space, caught in the chaos. "What's happening?" One alien officer shouted. "Their weapons are everywhere. They're hacking us." Another alien screamed. Indeed, Earth's ships were not just engaging in direct combat. They had a hidden weapon, an advanced AI network that allowed the fleet to hack into enemy ships and scramble their systems. It was a silent, deadly form of warfare. Wagner roared in frustration. "They're using our own technology against us. This is impossible." Wagner's desperation. Wagner's flagship, the Tyrant, was the crown jewel of the alien fleet. It was designed for destruction, bristling with weapons that could obliterate anything in its path. But even as the Tyrant unleashed a full barrage of energy cannons, the Resolute evaded most of the fire, using its stealth systems to blend into the stars, making it almost invisible to the alien sensors. The battle was shifting. Earth was not fighting to destroy. They were fighting to prove something. The aliens had laughed at Earth's fleet, but now the humans were showing them that they could outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast even the most powerful adversaries. One by one, the alien ships began to fall. Not destroyed, but disabled. Earth's ships were sparing them, only temporarily neutralizing the alien vessels with non-lethal attacks. Some alien generals watched in disbelief, realizing they had underestimated the humans. Carter's calm voice rang through the communication channels. "You had your fun. Now, let's end this." The hidden weapon. Just when it seemed like Earth's fleet had gained the upper hand, Wagner ordered the Tyrant to engage its secret weapon. A massive glowing cannon on the Tyrant's belly began to charge, its energy pulse building up to a blinding intensity. "This ends now," Wagner said, his voice cold with hatred. "We'll show you why you never should have challenged us." The cannon discharged, sending a stream of pure destructive energy toward Earth's flagship. The beam cut through the void, a torrent of light and heat that could obliterate anything in its path. The human fleet braced for impact. But then, something unexpected happened. The Resolute deployed a shield, not just a simple one, but a massive gravity-manipulating field that bent the energy of the attack. Instead of the beam striking Earth's fleet, it warped and refracted, its power absorbed and redirected back at the Tyrant. The alien flagship shook violently as its own weapon hit it, sending sparks flying from its systems. Wagner's eyes widened as his ship's power began to destabilize. No, this cannot be. Earth's gravity weapon had turned the tide in one final, unexpected move. The once mighty Tyrant was now crippled, its systems failing. The audience in shock. The aliens in the observation chamber were silent, their mouths agape. They had expected a quick victory, but Earth's fleet was proving that they were not just survivors. They were forces to be reckoned with. In the command room of the Resolute, Carter allowed himself a small smile. "It's over," he said. But his victory was not just in the destruction of alien ships. It was in the message they had sent. They had proven that Earth was not just a weak, helpless planet. They had shown the galaxy that when it came to strategy, adaptability, and willpower, no one could outsmart humanity. The part ended with Wagner's flagship retreating, its engines failing as it limped into the distance. Earth had won, not by brute force, but by intelligence, by unity, and by the courage to never back down. The hidden power. The battle had turned in Earth's favor. The once boastful alien generals now stood in stunned silence, their pride shattered in a matter of moments. Earth's fleet, small and seemingly weak, had proven more resilient, intelligent, and resourceful than they had ever imagined. But there was still something even greater hiding beneath the surface. The Resolute, Earth's flagship, had a secret, one that even most of the fleet's crew wasn't aware of. In the command center of the Resolute, Admiral Elena Vega stood with a serious expression, her eyes scanning the reports flashing across the consoles. Carter stood beside her, his face a mask of focus. He had seen Earth's unexpected victory unfold, but now was not the time for celebration. He had known all along that the humans had something more to offer. "Admiral," Carter said softly, his voice low. "It's time." Vega nodded, her hands moving swiftly over the control panel. The time has come to show them the true strength of Earth. In the silence of space, Earth's fleet reformed into a new, more complex formation. They moved slowly, deliberately, with a calmness that unsettled the watching aliens. They had already neutralized most of Wagner's fleet without destroying it. But now, Earth's ships were about to show the galaxy just how far their ingenuity could go. The shield of the future. The Resolute and its accompanying ships aligned in a perfect line. Each one flickered briefly, as if some internal system was awakening from a deep slumber. And then, with a sudden violent hum, a massive pulsing energy field enveloped the entire fleet. The holographic screens in the alien command chambers lit up with red warnings. "What is that?" one of the alien officers asked, his voice trembling with confusion. It's not possible," another muttered, his hands shaking. "They've activated the gravity field." The Resolute's shield was not a simple defense system. It wasn't just built to absorb or deflect attacks. It was designed to manipulate gravity itself. The shield used advanced technology that bent the laws of physics, creating artificial gravitational wells that could crush, slow, or even reverse the flow of time within certain fields. Earth had never publicly revealed such a weapon, but now it was in full operation, and its effects were already showing. Alien ships in the vicinity started to experience strange distortions. Their movements slowed, their engines fought against the growing pull of gravity, as if they were caught in a massive trap. Massive warships, once so powerful and sleek, suddenly struggled to maintain control, their propulsion systems unable to compensate for the gravitational forces they were now under. Wagner's eyes widened as his flagship, the Tyrant, faltered under the immense pressure. "What are they doing to us?" he roared. "Engage the engines. Push through the gravity." But it was too late. The artificial gravity was too strong, and the alien fleet began to falter. Ships that had been charging toward Earth's fleet came to an abrupt halt, their engines screaming as they struggled to escape the unnatural field. A dark reflection. Back on Earth's flagship, Admiral Vega watched with grim satisfaction as the alien fleet struggled to escape the gravitational hold. The power of the shield was undeniable, but she knew they had to move quickly. Gravity was a powerful tool, but it was also unstable. Overuse could result in disaster. "We need to finish this before we lose control," Vega said, her voice tense. She looked to Carter, who nodded in response. "Deploy the final phase," Carter ordered. Vega gave the command, and suddenly, the gravitational field surrounding the fleet expanded and morphed into a complex web of force fields, each one aligning perfectly with the others. It was a chain reaction. The alien ships were not just held in place. They were slowly pulled toward one another, their trajectories colliding and causing them to crash into each other. Alien ships groaned and creaked under the force. Massive warships, once untouchable, collided and exploded in brilliant flashes of light. The sound of their destruction echoed across the void, but it was a sound that didn't reach Earth's fleet. Earth's ships were already moving, swiftly, with precision, leaving the destruction behind them as if it was nothing more than a distant memory. "Did we just?" Vega trailed off, her eyes wide with awe as she watched the alien fleet's collapse unfold in real time. "Did we just break their fleet without even firing a shot?" Carter remained calm, his gaze fixed on the destruction. "We didn't break their fleet, Admiral. We showed them that no matter how powerful their weapons are, they are only as strong as their ability to adapt. And Earth has mastered that." Wagner's last stand. Back aboard the Tyrant, Wagner's anger reached its peak. His ships were being torn apart by the gravitational field. His once proud fleet was being dismantled piece by piece, not through overwhelming firepower, but by the sheer will and ingenuity of Earth's fleet. "You, humans!" Vecna roared into the communication channel, his face twisted in fury. "You think you've won. You think your tricks can defeat the might of the galaxy. You've merely delayed the inevitable." Carter's voice came through, calm and cold. "It's not about defeating the might of the galaxy, General. It's about surviving it. And that's something we've been doing for centuries." Vega turned to Carter with a sharp glance. "Do you think he'll surrender?" "No," Carter replied simply. "But that's not the point. It's about showing them that we're not their equals. We're better." The unseen forces. As the battle raged on, there was something else happening beneath the surface of the gravitational field. Earth's AI network, having hacked into the alien ships, began extracting valuable data from their systems. The information was immediately analyzed and used to find even more ways to neutralize the remaining alien ships. The humans had turned the tide, not with overwhelming force, but with knowledge. While the gravitational field contained the immediate threat, the real victory was in the technology that Earth had learned to master. Technology that could disrupt, disable, and reprogram the most advanced alien systems. Carter stepped forward. "It's over, General. Your fleet is finished. We have neutralized your weapons, your shields, your propulsion systems. You can either surrender or you can retreat. The choice is yours." Vecna's eyes burned with rage. "This is not over. You will regret this." The transmission ended abruptly. Vecna's flagship, severely damaged, turned and retreated into the dark reaches of space. The remaining alien ships followed suit, their pride shattered and their hopes of victory crushed. A new reality. Earth's fleet had won, but the battle was not just a victory in the physical sense. It was a declaration. The galaxy would no longer underestimate humanity. They had fought not with sheer firepower, but with intelligence, adaptability, and sheer willpower. The aliens had laughed at Earth's pathetic fleet, but now they would never forget the strength that lay hidden behind humanity's unassuming exterior. Admiral Vega looked at Carter with a weary smile. "We've done it. We've shown them." Carter nodded, but his mind was already on the next challenge. "Yes, but we've only just begun." Earth's counterattack. The echoes of the battle's end were still ringing in the silence of space. Vecna's fleet, once so full of confidence and power, was now a shattered relic of its former self. Earth's fleet, small but determined, had done the unthinkable. They had defeated one of the galaxy's mightiest forces without firing a single destructive shot. But the aliens weren't finished yet, and Earth's victory was still far from certain. On the bridge of the Resolute, the crew was still processing the events that had unfolded. The AI systems had successfully neutralized most of the alien fleet, but there was a creeping realization that Earth's real challenge was just beginning. Admiral Elena Vega paced back and forth, her mind working through every possible scenario. Earth's victory had been a remarkable display of innovation and resilience, but now they faced a difficult choice. What came next? "We've shown them our power," Carter said, his voice steady as he stood at the front of the bridge, staring out into the void. "But they're not going to walk away from this quietly. We need to decide what we do now." Vega nodded. "We can't let them regroup. The longer we wait, the more time they have to send reinforcements or plot revenge." Carter glanced at her, his expression unreadable. "The message has already been sent. The galaxy knows that Earth is not to be underestimated, but we can't let it end like this, not for our sake, and not for theirs." The power of mercy. While Earth's fleet had successfully crippled the alien fleet, they had done so without causing outright destruction. The ships had been disabled, not destroyed. Many of the alien soldiers were alive, stranded in their broken ships, their weapons useless, their engines disabled. Earth had won by intelligence and strategy, but they had also spared the lives of their enemies. Carter's mind turned to a message he had been considering ever since the battle began. mercy. Humanity had the power to destroy, but they had chosen not to. The aliens would have to decide whether to continue fighting or face the truth that Earth had proven their superiority not just in battle, but in their ability to show mercy. "Admiral," Carter said, turning toward Vega, "we need to offer them an option, a chance to leave without further bloodshed. It's not about victory for us anymore. It's about survival." Vega was quiet for a moment, weighing his words carefully. "You think they'll listen to us? After everything?" "They'll listen," Carter replied, his tone firm. "The ones who are still alive will have no choice." The unlikely diplomat. As Earth's fleet prepared for their next move, General Wagner's fleet began to retreat slowly, nursing their damaged ships and licking their wounded pride. Despite their broken forces, the generals of the alien alliance still held power. Power that could mean destruction for Earth if they weren't careful. But not all the alien generals were as eager to continue the war. One diplomat, an elderly alien with pale, translucent skin and piercing yellow eyes, had been watching from the shadows during the battle. He had been silent throughout the entire conflict, observing not just the tactics and innovations of Earth's fleet, but the humans themselves. He was different from the others. He understood something that the others didn't, the value of what Earth had shown. And now he intended to do something about it. His name was Lyron, and he was a representative of a peaceful alien race from a distant star system, one that had long avoided conflict but had been watching the galaxy's wars with growing concern. Lyron approached Carter's communication channel, requesting a private audience. Earth's fleet paused, unsure of the intentions behind the request. "Put him through," Carter ordered, his voice a mixture of caution and curiosity. The hologram flickered, and Lyron's face appeared, his expression serious yet calm. "Ambassador Carter," he began, his voice soft but clear. "I have seen the battle. I have seen how you fought, not with mindless aggression, but with thoughtfulness. You showed restraint, even in the face of overwhelming provocation. I believe I speak for many when I say this. You have won not just a battle, but a new respect." Carter tilted his head, intrigued by the unexpected ally. "What are you suggesting, Lyron?" Lyron's eyes glowed with the wisdom of his race. "I suggest we end this war. I believe we can avoid further bloodshed, if you are willing to negotiate. The other generals may not agree, but I can help you make them listen." The decision. In the war rooms of the Alien Alliance, the generals convened. Wagner's rage was palpable, his fists clenched as he slammed them on the table. "We will never surrender to these humans. They think they have won. They will see their mistake. We will rebuild our forces, and we will return." But as he raged, Lyron stood quietly in the corner, his expression unwavering. "You are wrong, Wagner. This is not about pride. This is about survival. The humans are not our enemies. They are our future." He turned to the rest of the generals. "They have proven themselves far more capable than we ever imagined. They will be a force to reckon with, but they also offer us a chance to stop the war before it destroys everything." Wagner scoffed. "And what? Beg for mercy from these humans?" Lyron's eyes narrowed. "No, Wagner. But you will recognize their power and accept their terms. It is the only way forward." A new dawn. Back on Earth's flagship, Carter and Vega stood together, looking out into the stars. The war was not over, but the battle had shifted. What had once been a fight for survival had become a fight for peace. As Lyron's message reached them, Carter listened intently. "The aliens are willing to listen," he said quietly. "But it's up to us whether they hear what we have to say." Vega turned to him, her eyes filled with uncertainty. "And if they don't?" "We'll be ready," Carter replied. "But now we have a chance to offer them a choice. We're not here to conquer. We're here to survive, to build something new." Carter's eyes narrowed as he looked at the stars beyond. "And if they can't understand that, then we'll show them again just what humans are capable of." The choice. The final moments of the battle came not with destruction, but with a quiet understanding. Earth had proven it could fight. It had shown mercy when it could have easily destroyed. Now, as the alien generals weigh their options, a new chapter was about to unfold. A chapter where the fate of the galaxy might hinge not on war, but on a fragile, uncertain peace. Victory with a message. The calm in the wake of the battle was eerie. Earth's fleet, having defeated the alien force without using deadly force, now stood in the aftermath, floating amidst the remnants of a defeated enemy. The alien ships, once proud symbols of galactic might, were disabled, some drifting helplessly in space, others caught in the gravitational pull of Earth's shield. Yet, not a single ship had been destroyed. There had been no massive explosions, no fiery destruction, only the slow, relentless dismantling of an empire's pride. Ambassador Ryan Carter stood on the bridge of the Resolute, staring out at the field of disabled ships. The flicker of distant stars was the only light in the cold expanse of space. His thoughts were heavy, filled with both triumph and uncertainty. Earth had proven its might, but at what cost? And what would come next? "Do you think they'll surrender?" Admiral Elena Vega asked, her voice breaking through his thoughts. Carter's eyes narrowed. "I'm not sure, but they have no choice but to listen now." In the observation room, the remaining alien generals, including the wounded Wagner, watched in stunned silence. They had expected Earth to fall. They had underestimated humanity's resilience, and now they were faced with the fact that Earth was no longer just a weak, fragile planet. It was a force to be reckoned with. They had been shown mercy when they expected brutality, but that didn't erase the bitterness in their hearts. They still saw Earth as a threat, a challenge to their dominance. Wagner's voice echoed across the alien fleet's communication channels. "This is not over," he growled, his anger barely contained. "I will not bow to humans. This mercy they offer is an insult to our pride." His words hung in the air, a final declaration of defiance. But Lyron, the old diplomat who had once been a neutral observer, stood calmly by the communication console. His pale, translucent eyes were filled with a quiet resolve. He was the one who had seen what humanity was capable of. He knew that the time for aggression was over. It was time for diplomacy, for the galaxy to recognize that Earth's strength came not just from its technology, but from its ability to make choices. Hard, unexpected choices. The message to the galaxy. "Send the message," Carter said, his voice steady as he turned from the observation window. He looked around at his officers, who nodded in agreement. On Earth's flagship, the message was sent. It wasn't a threat or a demand for immediate surrender. Instead, it was a call for understanding. "People of the galaxy," Carter's voice broadcast across the stars, reaching every corner of the Alliance. "We have shown you our strength, not through the destruction of your forces, but through our power to choose a different path. We did not fight to annihilate you. We fought because we had no choice, because we had been forced into a corner by your own arrogance." The transmission continued, with Carter's voice unwavering, firm. "We are not your enemies. We are not here to conquer, to dominate, or to destroy. We are here to survive, to grow, and to create something new, together. Earth is ready to share its knowledge, its resources, and its will to build a future that includes everyone. But we will not bow to threats, and we will never be subjugated again." The message echoed through the stars, reaching the ears of every alien leader and general. In the deep silence that followed, something profound began to shift. For the first time, Earth wasn't pleading for survival. They were extending an olive branch, offering an opportunity for peace. A quiet resurgence. Back on the bridge of the Resolute, the crew waited, eyes trained on the communication screens as the response from the alien alliance came in. For a long moment, there was only silence. Then, a message flickered onto the screen. It was from Lyron. "I have spoken with the others," he said, his voice calm and steady. "The message you have sent has been heard. Ambassador Carter." The generals, including Wagner, are not yet willing to accept it, but they are listening. And for the first time in a long time, they are questioning their path. This is not just a victory of battle. It is a victory of ideas. Carter's eyes met Vega's, a shared understanding passing between them. It was not just Earth's might that had won the day, but their willingness to show mercy, to prove that there was another way to live in the galaxy. The message was simple. Earth would not fight for dominance, but it would not be dominated either. The Council of the Galaxy. The message that Carter had sent reverberated across the galaxy like a shockwave. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy's ruling council, composed of powerful alien leaders, generals, and diplomats, was divided. Some saw Earth's strength as a sign of a new era. Some saw it as a threat, while others were uncertain of how to respond. In the council chambers, the alien leaders convened in an emergency session. Wagner, still seething from the defeat, stood before them. They cannot be allowed to survive unchecked. Wagner's voice boomed. If we allow this, it will be the end of our empire. The humans are too dangerous, too unpredictable. But the voice of Lyran rose above the others. No, Wagner, he said, his tone unwavering. The humans have shown us something we have long forgotten, the ability to choose. They have demonstrated mercy, yes, but they have also proven that they can stand against us, not through violence, but through unity and strength. We cannot ignore what they offer. A murmur rippled through the room as the council debated. In the midst of this debate, a new voice, an unknown diplomat from a distant world, spoke up. Perhaps it is time for the galaxy to change. Perhaps it is time to work with Earth rather than against them. For the first time, a glimmer of hope shone through the darkness. The galaxy's leaders had never seen Earth in this light before. Earth was not just a small, insignificant planet. They had shown their strength, their innovation, and their ability to reshape the future. And the galaxy was watching. The decision. As the council continued to debate, a quiet decision was made. Lyran's voice rang through the chambers. We will send an emissary to Earth. We will begin negotiations, not as conquerors, but as equals. It was a quiet victory, a shifting of power that no one had expected. Earth was no longer the underdog. They had proven themselves, not just in battle, but in their resolve to shape a new future. They had won not just the respect of the galaxy, but the opportunity to forge new alliances, to build a future of cooperation, not conquest. A new beginning. On the Resolute, Carter watched as the alien ships began to withdraw, their once threatening fleets now no longer a danger. The tension in the air was palpable, but beneath it was something else, the beginning of something new. Earth had won its place among the stars, not through the fire of destruction, but through the quiet strength of its choices. They had shown the galaxy that humanity could stand on its own, that they could stand with the powerful, not beneath them. But Carter knew this was just the beginning. The real work had only just started. The galaxy was a vast, complicated place, and Earth's place in it was still uncertain. There would be more challenges ahead, more enemies, more alliances to forge. But one thing was clear: Earth's future, and the future of the galaxy, would be different now. The message had been sent. Humanity would not be underestimated again. The aftermath. The stars outside the Resolute were silent, their distant light flickering like faint whispers in the void. Earth's fleet remained poised and ready, not for a fight, but for the next chapter in humanity's unexpected journey through the stars. The battle had been won, but now, the real work began. The galaxy had witnessed Earth's resilience, and its future was no longer uncertain. It was being rewritten in real time. Ambassador Ryan Carter stood at the observation window, staring out into the vastness of space. The silence was almost unbearable, but it was a silence filled with potential. The message had been sent. The galaxy had heard it, and now Earth had to figure out how to shape the future it had won. Admiral Elena Vega stepped beside him, her eyes following the same stars. "It's hard to believe it's over," she said quietly. Carter nodded. his expression serious. "It's not over, Admiral. This is just the beginning. We've proven we can survive. Now we need to prove we can thrive." A diplomatic gamble. Back at the heart of the Galactic Council, the discussions were far from over. The once dominant alien factions, now reeling from the shock of Earth's unexpected victory, were forced to confront the uncomfortable truth. Earth was no longer a vulnerable, defenseless planet. Humanity had shown the galaxy its true strength, and now the balance of power was shifting in ways no one could have predicted. Lyron, the alien diplomat who had stood by Earth's side, stood at the center of the council chamber. His voice was calm but filled with a quiet authority. "We can no longer pretend that Earth is just a speck of dust in the galaxy. They have shown us that they are more than capable of standing alongside us, not as a subordinate race, but as equals." Vacner, still seething from the humiliation of his fleet's defeat, glared at Lyron. "You speak as if we should welcome them. These humans have disrupted everything we know. They have no place among us." Lyron's gaze remained unwavering. "That is where you are wrong, Vacner. We have a choice. We can either resist this change, which will only lead to more destruction, or we can embrace the reality of a new future, a future where Earth is not just surviving, but thriving alongside us." The council chamber fell into tense silence. Alien leaders exchanged wary glances, but the tide of opinion was slowly shifting. Even the most hardened generals and diplomats knew that Earth's victory wasn't just about military might. It was about something far more powerful: the ability to adapt, to survive, and to make hard choices in the face of overwhelming odds. For the first time in a long while, the galaxy was reconsidering what it meant to be part of a larger cosmic community. The emissary from Earth. A few days later, the first emissary from Earth arrived in the heart of the Galactic Council. It wasn't an army, or a fleet, or a weapon. It was an individual, a symbol of humanity's commitment to peace and cooperation. Ambassador Carter had chosen a representative who embodied the core values of Earth's new role in the galaxy. Dr. Kiran Solis, the eccentric scientist who had been instrumental in developing Earth's advanced technologies, stepped forward to speak on behalf of humanity. His wild hair and rumpled clothing were a stark contrast to the polished, elegant diplomats that filled the chamber. Yet, in his eyes burned the same quiet determination that had driven Earth's victory. "I am not here to threaten anyone," Solis said, his voice calm but unwavering. "I am here to offer humanity's hand in cooperation. We have no desire to dominate, nor do we want to be dominated. We have shown the galaxy that we can fight when necessary, but we have also shown that we can build, innovate, and adapt. We are not your enemies. We are here to build a future together." His words were met with a long silence. But this time, it was different. The council members, who had once looked at Earth with disdain or indifference, were listening. Even Vacner, still resentful, couldn't deny the sincerity in Solis's words. Slowly, the atmosphere in the chamber began to shift. A fragile alliance. As the discussions continued, an unprecedented decision was made. The Council, for the first time in its history, voted to allow Earth to join the Galactic Council. But the decision was not without caveats. Earth would not automatically be granted the full rights of the other members. Instead, they would be placed in a probationary status, an opportunity to prove that humanity's ambitions could be tempered with wisdom and humility. It was a delicate balance, one that both Carter and Solis knew would require all of Earth's ingenuity and diplomacy. But it was a step forward. It was a chance for Earth to not just survive, but to thrive among the stars. "Probationary status," Carter said, his voice reflecting both pride and caution. "It's not much, but it's a start. We'll have to prove ourselves every step of the way. But we've already shown that we're capable of more than anyone expected." Vega, standing beside him, smiled. "We're not just here to prove ourselves, Carter. We're here to change the game." A new era dawns. Months passed, and Earth began its new journey in the galaxy. The Resolute and its fleet were no longer outcasts. They were welcomed, cautiously at first, by some alien races, and even with curiosity by others. There were still those who feared humanity's potential, who believed that Earth's rise was a threat. But slowly, the foundation for something new was being built. Earth's emissaries traveled to distant worlds, sharing their knowledge and learning from others. They didn't come with demands, but with the simple desire to understand and collaborate. The galaxy, vast and complex, began to see Earth not as an anomaly, but as a promising new ally, a species capable of standing tall without arrogance or destruction. In the quiet moments between negotiations and meetings, Carter often found himself reflecting on what had been achieved. He had been part of something no one had expected. Earth had gone from being the laughingstock of the galaxy to one of its most intriguing, powerful, and respected members. But he also knew that this new era was fragile. The road ahead would not be easy. Earth would face challenges, both from within and beyond. There would be those who would seek to take advantage of humanity's newfound position. But as long as Earth stood united, as long as its people remembered the lessons they had learned, they would continue to carve out their place in the stars. The legacy of humanity. On a quiet night, under a canopy of stars, Ambassador Carter stood once again at the observation window of the Resolute. The stars seemed endless, a vast sea of possibility stretching out before him. Earth's journey had only just begun, but Carter knew one thing for sure. Humanity had proven it could stand on its own. It had shown that even the most fragile of species could, through innovation, unity, and strength, change the very course of history. And as Earth's fleet sailed deeper into the unknown, the galaxy was left with one undeniable truth. Humanity was here to stay.